Hey everyone, Craig from Rebirth here. Let me ask you a very important question. Have you ever wanted to start a company? I know I have, and I know you do because you're subscribed. Now I know you got that $1 million idea and skill set that'll bring your business to the very forefront of your industry and niche. But before you get too crazy, there's a few important things and mistakes that I made in my own business that I think I should share with you guys before you go off and make a crazy business and make trillions now. Welcome to Rebirth, where you guys don't make the same mistakes I did. That's for damn sure.
Come and get it! If you want it! If you need it! Gotta have it! Then come and get it! Come and get it!
Alright, let's get this started. The very first thing you need to do in order to start a business, and this is gonna sting a lot and you're gonna fucking hate me for it, get a day job. Now I know what you're saying. Craig, get a day job. That's the whole thing I'm trying to get out of. Here's the harsh reality of the situation. No matter how big and bad your crazy idea you may think it is, unless you've been studying business or have any idea what you're doing, you're going to get yourself into trouble. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get burned. Now I know the whole point is to go out there and make mistakes because failure is a crucial part of learning, but I just don't want you to make mistakes on the stupid beginner stuff that will get you into a lot of economic trouble in the future, especially taxes. That's going to be a whole different can of worms for a whole different video. But the first thing I would suggest doing is get a day job and slowly research your niche and read plenty of business books on the topic. Books I would recommend immediately, Think and Grow Rich. That's the timeless classic from the 40s by Napoleon Hill. It talks about how to get the mindset of business before you even get into it, to get you into that mindset of the top 1%. It really helps. My next suggestion is Your Next 5 Moves in Business Strategy by Patrick Bet-David. It taught me majority of the things I needed to know about not only starting a business but handling one and building a positive company culture. Because that's important. The simplest thing you need to learn is that you build the people in your business and then the business builds itself. Don't get it confused with you building the business and bossing people around and micromanaging. That's a waste of time. So before you go all willy-nilly, focus on the people that start with you. Because at the end of the day, if they have a better offer, they're gonna go running. And that's what that book taught me. Another book recommendation, Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. Dan Martell is one of the main influencers that got me into this space in the first place with learning business inside and out. And he has a great book about time and energy management. It teaches you exactly how to manage your employees, get an assistant, replacement ladder, all kinds of crazy things that you're gonna need to know offhand while you're doing your day job, getting money. Another great thing about having a day job when starting a business is funding. Because, listen, I made the horrific mistake of quitting all of my jobs before starting a business. And I made the horrific mistake of starting a videography company and investing my entire life savings into buying the equipment before. So I was basically broke completely when I started my first company. I had all this film equipment and I had no other business knowledge whatsoever and no job. I DoorDashed, I Instacarted. That's all I did while starting to grow my first business. You need to do your research. You need to study the basics of business and make sure that your day job is something like a salesman or anything in customer service that will teach you sales communication. Because without sales and communication and basic people skills in general, you will have a much harder time. I know I personally did not. I did every job but sales. I worked as a scare actor at a haunted attraction. I worked at a restaurant but as a busboy, and I worked at Coca-Cola as a warehouse worker. Those are some fun Greg facts for you. Yeah man, get a day job, study your craft, know what you're doing before you even remotely go into it. I started my first company. As I told you, I worked as a scare actor in a haunted attraction. I made it in the scare room during work on Zen Business. Made the whole business entity, paid $300 for it. Okay, you got your day job? You got the books I recommended you? Okay, now it's time for step 2. This one's gonna be exactly how you formulate your idea for the business if you don't have one. Take something you love and monetize it. If you don't know what to do, learn a trade. Like go cut someone's grass or get a power washer off of Amazon and go power wash people's houses. Your first business doesn't have to be anything too crazy. It could just be going door to door, selling something. The millisecond that you sell one thing to another person and money is exchanged, you have now done business. So it doesn't really matter what it is at first, just get your foot in the door while doing your day job. Consider it a side hustle at first. Here's another thing. Doing something that you love and monetizing it. For example, growing up, I loved film. I loved videography. I've been shooting things with a camera from when I was about 13 to now. Still shooting stuff to this day. So I thought, why not a videography business? And I'll explain a little later on why my videography business didn't work out, and it's because of one of the principles in this video that it didn't work out. More on that later. But yeah, doing door to door, doing simple sales is a great way to learn how to deal with rejection and to not let it affect your mindset. Here's the thing, when I first started out, I would take every rejection to heart. I would take everything to heart and my mindset was horrible. Horrible. Like I would be fucked up for days on account of that. That and at the time when I started my first company, I didn't know what to do appearance-wise either. Like I would go to full-blown business meets with like a black band shirt and shorts and didn't know really how to network with too many people. But my videography skills spoke for itself at the time, so I was able to get a few clients. I was able to film a parade, a fashion show. I shot at an island. A bunch of networking events, some real estate videos. Like I was doing semi-decent. I did a few commercials as well. Good times, man. But it didn't last because I didn't have the mindset to really get out there and get it. I was not a go-getter. I was doing the bare minimum and expecting results to happen. I would just go to one networking event and expect to be a millionaire. I would expect all of it to happen overnight, and the truth is, it's much like the gym and life in general. Getting better at any skill whatsoever, it's going to take a long time. You can't, put a price tag on it. You have to like slowly learn it over time through trial and error, failing over and over again. Failing is something you're going to do a lot. Hate to break it to you, no one's going to be an expert, no one's going to be perfect at business right off the bat. But over time, you will make these mistakes. You will make mistakes, and I'm trying to prevent you from making the same ones I did right now. So please, please, please do something you love, monetize it, and for the love of God and all that's holy, get your mindset to a reasonable place where you can take rejection and turn it into something powerful. Take negativity and turn it into something possible. And if you get nervous about something, turn nervousness into excitement. It comes from the same place, that same gut feeling. You emanate that. It really shows to people when you can seem excited 24/7. When you go up and speak to people, you have a big ass smile on your face and you're shaking their hand. Got a good old firm handshake, some real grippers on you. And that goes a long way. And we'll do a whole separate video about networking and that whole aspect of business later on. But that's just tip number 2. Do something you love, roll with it, have a good mindset. Step 3 is actually just a personal one that helped me a lot. So I want to bestow this knowledge upon you. I want you to make a short, medium, and long-term goal list for your business specifically. And more specifically, for every one of those goals that you have, I want you to write down below them the steps you are going to take to get to those goals. Like literally step 1 to 5, I want you to know exactly what you're going to do to get there, and I want every single time you reach one to mark it off with a $sign. And it feels like a game, it feels like a video game as I do it. It feels like I'm actually genuinely accomplishing something and I can mark it down and show that, hot damn, I reached that goal, And then you slowly move on to your medium goals, and you move on to your long-term goals, and you keep marking and marking and marking, you start making more goals. It turns into a whole video game system, which in a different video I'll teach you how to do with fitness as well. Gamifying your life is one of the greatest things you could do because it makes all the terrible things that happen to you make a lot of sense. The worst things in life happen to you when you're about to level up. It's a test. It's like a final boss for you to go through. Life is just waiting for you to pass the test if bad things keep consistently happening to you. You gotta put your mind and grind down to it, no matter what it is, no matter what the hell you wanna do with your life. You gotta make sure that you can push through and power through the obstacle and be the strongest person you were meant to be. And if you're not there yet, you came to the right fucking place. That's what we're all about right here, baby. So don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the shit out of that bell notification. I mean, I want you to spank that thing. That, and also on top of the goals, look up how to and make a business plan for yourself real quick. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, just like how you're gonna do things, exactly how your business is gonna work. Because I started with no business plan. I just knew I was gonna shoot people's videos. And really that's what I did for a long time before even establishing my business plan. Was I went out and I shot all these things but had no payment plan, had no invoice, had no taxes, had no nothing. Paying my employees under the table. It was just a whole mess. That, and I had to keep up with everything on my own, from the calendar to the emails, to the meetups, to actually going and filming, editing, producing the content. I was doing that all on my own. And it is a pain in the fucking ass, man. So as soon as you can, I would recommend hiring an executive assistant, because if you don't have an executive assistant, you are your own assistant. And that is not fun, because you need to get back to doing the things that you want to do. Number 4, the next thing I want you to do is another thing that has nothing to do with actually starting the business entity. This is all the preemptives that I would recommend doing. And the next thing is to look into your local market. Now, if you don't know how to do this, there's people on Fiverr you could pay to do this. But just look into other companies that are like yours locally. And what I want you to do is go to those companies. It might sound insane, but I want you to go to those companies and potentially talk about starting your own company and looking for work and stuff, like working with those companies. Now, the whole point I know is to not work for someone else, but you could get potential. What I found is, no matter what you think you're insanely good at, you probably aren't, and it's gonna sting, you probably aren't as good at it as you think you are. I know I wasn't as good as videography as I thought I was, and found a magnanimous mentor through doing this exact topic. Now, you go through these other companies, you find that, and in the future, once you really have your business going, they can become collaborators. You could share jobs with these people. Like, you have a job that you can't do, you give it to them, vice versa. You get a good, strong business relationship. And I know what you're thinking. You're sitting there thinking, collaboration, but isn't Apple and Microsoft, like they're always competing? Yeah, but here's the thing. When Apple went completely broke, you know the first place that Steve Jobs went? He went to Microsoft and asked for $1 million grant from Bill Gates, and he gave it to him. Crazy, right? Their biggest competition, helping them out when they're in need the most. And of course, that's when they decided to cut most of their rivalry down. It was completely unneeded. Here's the thing, when everyone is making money, there's no point in being fucking unhappy about it, because everyone's making money. And if you can make people money, you're gonna get money back in return. You get what you give, muddy sucker. And number 4 is a multifaceted one, but it's to basically go around town, go to your friends and family, anyone that you could think of, and ask around and see if they have anyone that would be interested in your service and or product. Just literally go around like crazy, advertise as you can, put posters up if you want to, go to business networking events. Networking events is where I found most of my current business partners and people that help me out on a regular basis. Just go there with your head up high, confident, and tell your story to these people, and they will help you. That's what the whole point of these is. They will give you their cards. If you have business cards, give them your cards, and you will help them out, and they will help you out tenfold. As long as you help listen to them, listen to their story, know what they're all about, and actually be interested in what they're about. Friends and family. I got my first ever videography client from a friend of mine's mom who knew someone that needed events filmed.
Greg, you've gone through all 5. Is it finally time for me to make my business?
Yes, as a matter of fact it is, sir and or madam, no judge. I just wanted to come out there and say thank you for watching this entire video through. But if you want to make your LLC, I would recommend going through a registered agent That like Zen Business has a really good one. There's a few other great websites that'll be linked up on the screen right now that have great registered agent programs that will help you not have to deal with the menial IRS paperwork. Because me personally, with my business, I despise anything having to do with taxes, paperwork. I want to get to the visionary side of things where I come up with ideas for advertising, marketing, sales, that whole order, and coaching you guys, helping anyone in need. The whole point of any of my companies from there on in is to help people, and I want to help you guys too. And I will have a lot more content coming out for you guys very, very soon. We do motivation, we got that mindset, we got that time, energy management. Anything you need to start your business, get your life together, get your shit together, get your wife together, just become a better person, self-improvement. That's what the whole channel is all about. We got it locked. And now you know everything that you need to know before starting your business. I've been Greg Forrester. Thanks for watching, and this is Rebirth. Walk and learn, baby.
Are you ready for this? Yeah!